It's a hold, according to the Fed Reserve this morning. Tom Piotrowski over at CommSec. How does that affect our markets today?
Well, Pete, that's a very superficial examination of what's happened with the Fed. Yes, they've held rates, but the more interesting aspect of things for the markets were the projections for economic growth, their inflation forecasts, and just the general assessment of things in the context of what we've seen happen over the course of the last couple of months. So to that end, in the press conference, Jerome Powell has delivered a masterclass in terms of communicating all of those elements. There was a little bit of a bump lower in terms of the Fed's growth forecast. The inflation forecast was bumped up, but it all fitted into the tolerance levels, I suppose, of what the markets had calibrated their instruments towards. So all of this has translated to quite a solid recovery, even over the course of the last couple of hours since the Fed handed down a decision at 5 a.m. Local time. You've seen US markets move ahead quite convincingly. So as we speak right now, we've got the Dow Jones up by about 1.2%. You've got a 1.5% improvement for the S&P 500, and the Nasdaq is an example of the technology stocks leading the recovery there. That index is up by 1.7%. So you've seen quite a meaningful improvement over the last couple of hours. There's also been quite a decent move lower for long and short-term interest rates. The belief that we'll see two more interest rate cuts this year is important. There was 3 at the margin expected. So again, all of this fits into the parameters of what the market had assessed. So this is looking quite good, Pete, given the fact that we've seen that 10% correction for the S&P 500 from the Valentine's Day high. Our own market having corrected to that extent as well. We're going to be up by about 0.8% as far as the start to the trading day is concerned. It's just a question of how those employment figures land with investors later on today as to whether or not that'll interfere with the trajectory of things.
Okay, Tom, well explained. Thank you. We'll talk to you again soon.